What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is shocked that Deontay Wilder has taken the third fight. After the domination, he believes the only reason he's doing it is because of money. Wow. And this is what the Gypsy King had to say. Excuse me. He said he didn't win a second of that second fight. But in this game, it's a short game and a short career. And there's an old saying, we've got to make hay while the sun shines. And for Deontay Wilder at the age of 34, how many big fights out there are left for him after a domination like he had? So I understand where he's coming from. I understand that he has to probably make a lot of money, and he has a lot of bills to pay. I don't know the man's personal circumstances, but from what I've seen of these American fighters and sportsmen, they always live a rock star lifestyle, even though they're not rocksters or rock stars. They go through a lot of money quite quickly, just like Mike Tyson. He went through a lot. He went through like $1 billion or whatever he went through. So I'm pretty sure that the money side of that is the tempting thing. I don't think it's too tempting to go in there and get an absolute beating like that, like he did before, but he would be tempted by the amount of money that he would receive because they go through it quite quickly. I think that the reason he's taken the fight is for the money. Now, start from the beginning. Deontay Wilder did get beat convincingly. I think it should have been stopped a couple of rounds before. And there may be some truth to that, but honestly, I think with Deontay Wilder and his big ego, I don't think it's the money primarily. I know that's the end goal because he's a prize fighter. I get it, but I don't think that he's taking the fight for money. Okay, I think that Deontay Wilder's taking that fight because his ego is the size of this universe. Okay, and for him to get beat the way he did and make the excuses that he made, there's no way he's doing it for money because he's still in denial. Okay, see, it's almost like someone dying and you just can't believe it, because losing is like death to certain people, especially if you're very competitive, especially when you have an ego, especially when you're arrogant the way Deontay Wilder has been sometimes, right? And especially in the later part of his career, the arrogance, rose with each win, regardless of the opposition. But I think that Deontay is fighting to get everything that he got back to this day because he just couldn't believe it, so he has to run it back just to make sure. Now, if he loses again, that's him. But Tyson Fury's narrative about American fighters running through money is true, though. They run through a lot of money, and especially like Mike Tyson, for example, he did, just bought stupid things, tigers, and you know what I mean, and just crazy stuff that he bought with the money that he had, But you got to remember, Mike Tyson was a kid. You know what I mean? This is the youngest heavyweight ever, right? So, he's going to go wild and buy things that he doesn't need and run through money that he thought that was going to last forever. But he's not the only one. Evander Holyfield, so a lot of fighters. So there's some truth to that. Now, speaking of rock stars, though, I have to counterpunch Tyson Fury. I got to call it down the middle. When he beat Vladimir Klitschko, I don't know how much spending he did, but if he wasn't fighting, he was spending. Okay? He lived the cocaine, the alcohol, right? Due to the mental illness or whatever. And then you can't forget the drama and the situation he had with UCAD. Okay? And that had a lot to do with it too. If you bring that in, and you put that into play, that Tyson Fury had a lot of stuff going on all at the same time. And it maybe, just maybe, him beating Klitschko was too much for him. He didn't know how to handle the success himself. You know, if we look at it fairly, he talks about Andy Ruiz, but it very well, Tyson Fury could have been down that same path. You're going to all of a sudden fall apart after you've done what no one else has done in a very long time. Okay? And that's what Tyson Fury did. So that rock star mentality, he might have been looking in the mirror when he was thinking about that. You know what I mean? Because he's probably speaking from experience, okay, about Rockstar. And another thing, Deontay Wilder, you haven't really seen him in any type of drama. You haven't seen him like Errol Spence, Jermall Charlo, you know, Adrian Broner. You don't see that. You don't see him getting into mess like that. You don't see Keith Thurman and any of those guys. So you got to hand it to him. Those guys, if you see Deontay Wilder, I've never seen him on TMZ, Tipsy, or whatever. He's always animated, so you can't you can't say that, oh, well, maybe he was drunk because he was yelling "Bomb Squad." You know what I mean? So to be fair, I don't think he fits in that category. I think Deontay Wilder, you have to remember something. Just a couple years ago, Deontay Wilder was making fight purses like his biggest one was against Ortiz, was what, for 1.2 or 2.5 or something like that. It wasn't a huge fight purse for a heavyweight, especially the heavyweights and what they were getting. You know, like Joshua getting 20 million pounds and stuff like that. He wasn't getting that type of money, so he had to make do with what the negotiated fight purses were. Okay, so he didn't. I don't think that it was a situation where, or Deontay's in a situation where he needs the money, unless his last couple fights, he just blew through money. And again, I don't see him with any type of habits that require him to do that. Now, he does have 7 kids. He has 7 habits, and those 7 kids and those 7 habits, they need money. They need things. Okay, so that may be what he spends most of his money on and stuff like that. But I don't really see Deontay Wilder even fitting the category. And I don't think it's for money at all. I think it's for pride. Okay? Like he said, you can't take my pride. He's doing it for pride, people. He's not doing it for money. But we will see how he adjusts if we ever hear from him, because I haven't heard anything from Wilder. Okay? So he's staying low key, right? And I hope he's fine. But Tyson Fury, is surprised that he took the match. But I would disagree with Tyson Fury. It's for pride, not cash. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.